All right, I am live on Facebook. Now, I am going to go live on, there we go. I'm going live on Instagram as well. And today is day 3 of my story. So I just wanted to hit all avenues. So I am streaming live everywhere. I am on my personal page. I am in my I Dream of Financial Success group. Hey. And I am also live on Instagram. And so we'll have to do Periscope one day, and YouTube. So today I just want to talk to you a little bit again about my story. Let's talk about the time that $30,000 went missing from my bank account. I wouldn't say my bank account, my brokerage account, my retirement account, my future is where the money came out. And so it's amazing that a lot of times we think we need more money. Well, what happened to me? And this probably has happened to somebody out there, is that you pulled from your own future to try to supplement either your lifestyle, or you had good intentions on trying to pay off debt. And that's what happened to me. Because I had taken a job for $20,000 less than what I normally was paid. And instead of, I don't know what I was thinking. I did not think about it at all. All I thought was, okay, I'm taking a job $20,000 less. But I had, some roommates at the time. So, but I did not change my lifestyle. That's crazy. Now, I was thinking like, okay, I'm going to get the benefits of having this job. And that's how I know how to do a lot of things online, because it was a virtual position. And so I did get those resume benefits, and I did have a lot of success. But at the same time, that was just a spiraled down, right? And so if you ever take a job for less, make sure you're getting some benefits on the skills and expertise side, right? But you also have to scale down your living. And that's what I didn't do. I didn't scale down my living. And that's what caused me to supplement my income with the payments that I was grabbing from my retirement account. And so I actually, when I go back through the story, like, it's so convoluted. It is so convoluted. But I had the intentions of paying off debt because I could not save, like at my job that I went to. I wasn't able to save. And there were a lot of people in that predicament. I'm single. I don't know how they were surviving, mothers, because we had a lot of single mothers, or not single mothers, but a lot of mothers, 2-parent homes. But a lot of single too as well, with kids. And I just don't know how they survived. So a lot of them probably were cohabiting with parents and things like that, or they had a spouse. But it was hard because I know I was struggling. And so, yeah. So make sure you just can't do it. And so that just led to that. Guys, when I'm telling you, when you have money issues, it will lead you to some places. But a lot of times it's the other stuff that leads us to not making better choices. And I don't know why I didn't think to subsidize my lifestyle. Like, I had to cut some things. I don't know why that never came into play. Now I know that's what I should have did. But I think it's because I did have the roommate. So if you are in a roommate position, oh my gosh, use that to your advantage. Because I'm like, dude, I blew through so much money. And I know there are other people out there who have blown through money. You had good intentions, but we can't do it. Okay. And then after I think because I've been through it, it's like, oh, how I was feeling. But what really, really got me, and, was once I started evaluating the years later, and I started looking back, I had nothing to show for the money that I went through. I think I paid off a couple of education loans that I had, but for the most part, I still had a graduate degree that I hadn't finished. There were so many unfinished things, and I needed that graduate degree. I needed that graduate just so I could get $1,000, raise on my job. How the years that I could have had that. That's crazy. So leaving money on the table. So, but a lot of us think that, if we get more money, that we would actually do the right thing. That if we get more money, our lives would change. When reality is when your mindset changes, that's when it's actually going to change your bank account. Because your money is directly tied to your self-discipline. And it doesn't matter what amount you get. People can blow. Now, it would have to be some ridiculous amount for you not to be able to blow your money. But I've had a coworker tell me, who used to work for the bank. They had people come in there who've won millions of dollars, and they were worse off than they were before they got the money. Worse. They lost it all. So when people get money, but they don't hire an advisor, we get real stingy when we get the money, and now we don't want to, pay people who actually do this for a living. Don't do it. You're going to lose it. And so we have to be better stewards, but the first is up here in a mindset. And so once I started evaluating and seeing that, I started immediately after I evaluated. Oh, it was game on. Multiple streams of income. I got to do something. I could not stop. I had to do something. And so I started, the first thing is I started evaluating. Okay. I was walking through some dark years. There were some dark times, not feeling like I was enough, not feeling like I wanted to be in the world anymore. I wasn't about to take myself out, but I was ready. I was like, okay, God, I had enough. This life, I'm ready to see Jesus. When is Jesus coming? That's exactly what I was saying. And I was telling my friends, like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready. Because that's how dark stuff can get. And then, but I don't know. When I evaluated those finances, baby, I'm just like, something snapped. I was like, oh no. But I should have snapped long time ago when, because my bank statements told me every time when I open it up, like, you're spending $400 more than you make every month. I'm in red every month. I'm bleeding every month. Some of y'all need to look. But you know what? Even if you look, sometimes you're just like, okay, whatever. Like, I can still afford to pay my bills. I'm good. No, I can afford to pay my bills, but I was paying $100 in interest. I can afford to pay my bills, but I got an interest rate that's 29.99. I got the JCPenney card. I'm so glad I paid that off, because I was calling them trying to lower the APR, and they wouldn't do it. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know why being in red did not affect me over the time period, because I saw those little notices all the time, but I was just okay paying the bills, and we get okay being able to pay the bills. Just because you can afford the bill does not mean you can afford what it is that you're buying. Again, just because you can afford the bill doesn't mean you can afford what you're buying. So when we're stepping into the car dealership, and they get us with that, because that's when you go in there talking about, I just want to have a $450 payment. Oh, they're about to rape you. Oh, don't do it. Because that's exactly what it is. This interest is out of control. Do you guys know that the credit card companies make trillions of dollars just off the interest? That's not even what you owe them, just the interest payments. And they have become the top number one. So anyway, Y'all don't want to hear all that information though. But seriously, so what I actually started to do after I evaluated, I did get serious. I got real serious, and so I started a baking company. Is what I first did. I started baking. At first, I started baking because that's where I love. It just calms me down and helps me to de-stress. But I made it a company, and I started making money. And then I started getting into financial literacy and learning where I could actually start getting some money. And so I didn't get another job. That's the cool part about it, is that I started regulating my taxes. And because I didn't know about the W-4, but the W-4, guys, it tells how much taxes that is going to be taken out of your paycheck. And so a lot of people don't want to mess with that because they're like, oh, no, I'm not messing with the IRS. But I know people right now, well, myself included. So when I corrected my W-4, and that's the form that you fill out that's the form that you fill out when you first start your job, because you have to tell the IRS you have to tell your job how much to take out for the IRS. And so most people, now it's not even like this anymore, but most people put a 0, put a 1, because we don't really understand that form. A lot of people have never read that form. I know. I mean, at the age of 30, this was like 3 years ago. I had never read the whole form, and I didn't really understand the whole, how it all worked. But now I do. And so I corrected my W-4, started getting my tax money back, and I used that money to start paying down debts. I used that money to start building my emergency fund. Imagine you're already working said hours. You're already going to a job that you're tired. We go to jobs we don't even like. We deal with folks that we don't even like. We deal with toxic bosses and all kind of stuff, toxic coworkers, and we go to this job and spend like almost 90%. Well, I wouldn't say 90%, but a good amount of our time there, right? We spend a great amount of time, and yet we still come up short. And so I was so excited when somebody introduced that strategy to me. And so that's what I talk about in my book, Find Your Spark, 7 Steps to Ditch Stress and Ignite Your Financial Lifestyle. That's my first step in my cash flow method. Is the C is change your mindset. Okay. But we have to change our mindset about money, but you also need to change your mindset about minimizing the taxes. Amazon, and I think it was 2018. It's actually 2018. They paid $0 in federal taxes. 0. That's what comes out of our paycheck. They pay $0 on billions of dollars in money. But us, we pay taxes on just the little chump change that we get. That's crazy. And what makes it even more crazy is that they were given a rebate of about $7.6 million. Don't take that for verbatim, but I know they got millions of dollar rebates. I should Google it right now to just confirm what it is. So look up Amazon 2018 tax, their tax return or whatever, and it should say something like you should be able to go at how much money. So it says here it is in 2018. Ooh, I lowballed that. So it says 2018 Amazon posted income of more than $11 billion. Okay, but the company paid $0 in federal taxes. Go and look up what your federal taxes pays for. You have a company making $1 billion and they don't pay anything into federal taxes. And then it says, in fact, and this is from CNBC, in fact, thanks to tax credits and deductions, Amazon actually received a federal tax refund. Some places call it a rebate. So, but this particular site said refund of $129 million. I was way off. $129 million. You paying federal taxes out your paycheck. Well, actually now I'm paying no taxes. I'm paying my Medicare, but I ain't paying federal taxes. You know why? So I got a business. That's another strategy that I implemented, was getting a business. But see, I've had business. I did photography, selling jewelry, all of that. But I did not know the benefit of the business back then. I know the benefit of the business now. And this is why, because businesses are the ones who are getting the deductions. And this is supposed to just be like a quick little, this is supposed to be a quick story. But these are some of the things that I started implementing. And I didn't even have to get another job. I didn't have to get another job because I got my tax money back. Now, for people who refuse to even minimize their taxes, if people who refuse to minimize their taxes, they should look at their last paycheck and see how much they paid into their taxes. Because even though all the money that was taken out, you're not going to get all of it back. So what happens to the money that you don't get back, right? So you're taxed on whatever they take out, and now, you get part of it back. Okay. But think about us people who don't pay taxes. Robert Kiyosaki tells you, he brags all the time about not paying taxes. All the time he brags about not paying taxes because he has a strategy. And so if you have a strategy, you can definitely, you can minimize your tax obligation. Okay. There's a difference between, I talk about the differences between, not paying any taxes because you're trying to minimize them. And then, but tax evading, okay, there's a difference. You can't just be out here like, oh, I'm not going to pay taxes, right? So yeah, so that's like one of the first steps that I took. And so, guys, this money thing, I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about the mistakes that they made, but I made some huge mistakes. If I had that $30,000 sitting where it was supposed to be sitting, I would be in a way better position. And so yeah, I made a mistake, but I'm fixing it and I'm working on it. I'm in control. I'm in more control of my money. Okay. I can't control life, but I can control how I respond to it and how prepared I am for it. So show up in your own life. Living paycheck to paycheck. Who wants to do that? It's stressful. Now, I always thank God have had the ability to pay my bill. Actually, you know what? I can say that, but sometimes because it was credit, right? Ooh, I remember my first year as an educator, I could not, I was at the bottom scraping because the way the certification programs work, they will take your cut. They teach you and train you, get certified. But now, hey, once you get the teaching job, okay, now you got to pay the company. So they let you pay on the back end. And when they take like almost 50% of your paycheck, it's hard. So I put a lot of money I put a lot of stuff on credit cards. And then but I remember I got out of debt. And you know how I got out of debt? So I got in debt because I didn't have enough money. And so I was using credit cards. I got out of debt I went back home. I was like, look, I can't do this. I need to pay some debt off. But guess what? Life happens. And I got back in it. So I'm thankful now that I do have the strategy to know what it is. In my first 12 months, I paid off a little over $15,000. I know I'm well over $20,000 paying it. I'm probably like at month 18 working on this debt thing. And so by the end of this year, I will have paid off over $40,000, somewhere near closer to maybe $45,000 to $50,000 in debt. And so I'm here to help people. I'm a financial coach now. I've gone through several certification programs. I help people with credit, but it's time to show up. It's time for you to show up in your own life. It's time for me to show up in others' lives, in your life as well. So if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you made some of those bloody mistakes that I've made, if you got a lump sum and you don't know where to start or what to do, it's time to show up. It's time to put our feet in a different place than where we were. And so if you need help budgeting, if you want to live a happier life and you want to have a better plan, website below. Oh, and you know what? My website is going to one of my lead generators right now. It's about break up with boundaries. So if you go to that website, it will fill in your information. Or if you are on Instagram, I want to say Twitter, but I don't really do a lot Twitter. But if you're on Instagram, guys, go ahead and click on the link in my bio. I'm actually going to take my little click, my lead off, and then that way y'all can see if you just want to book a consultation or my workbooks that are on there. I have a lot of freebies, and you can see how to work with me. And so, but that's it, guys. That's it. And if maybe you're kind of scared and you just want a resource, well, I have a few workbooks on there. There's one about boundaries, okay? And it has a budgeting, talks about, how to set boundaries in your life and also how to set boundaries in your finances. But I actually kind of go through this, and then I do talk about shifting your income. So there are a couple of things there to help you all out. So check out the freebies at thecashflowcombo.com. And I'll be back tomorrow, tell you more of my story. So yeah. All right. Thank you for watching. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I got to go catch the last 40 minutes of night school. So peace. I'm saying bye to my Instagrammers over there, and adios to my Facebookers and YouTube and in my I Dream of Success group. All right, y'all have a good night. Just know that it is possible, whatever it is that you're trying to get done. All right. Bye.